Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I certainly do appreciate you stopping by. If you're new here, if you're a subscriber, again, thank you so very much for supporting the channel. It does mean a lot. I don't post every day like some people. I come over here to just try to give some good advice to people, to folks that either are trying to join the prepper community or see how the world's going. So today, I just thought I'd drop you 15 things you need to have if you live on the East Coast of the United States. And you should be having these things no matter where you live, but especially if you're on the East Coast. As many of you know or may not know, hurricane season started on June 1st. It ends on November 30th. And this article right here says it's going to be more storms this year than usual. So, best time to prepare is when nothing's happening. Now would be the time to get out, get your supplies, put them back. If we have storms, we have them. If we don't, you still got your supplies. Number one, I would suggest having water on hand, bottled water or water filtration, preferably bottled water. Even if you're not a hardcore prepper or anything like that, these are just prudent things to have on hand. It takes 2 gallons of water roughly per day per person in your household. That includes cleaning and hydration, things like that. So at least have 2 gallons per day per person for every member of your household, because your water may be off. Power's going to be down probably in some areas. We've experienced it here in central North Carolina, and it sucks. But if you're prepared, it doesn't. So have your water. Get you some good shelf-stable foods. Don't buy anything extreme or extravagant that you won't eat. Put it away. Have extra and say, okay, this is my backup. Put it in a rotation. Eat it like you normally would, but have enough on hand that you have a good 2-week supply put away. You should, if you're watching this channel already, you should be working on that prepper pantry and getting it started. But if you're not, no big deal. If you're not a prepper, you just want some sound advice on things, reasonable advice, put away 2 weeks worth of food so you don't have to count on the government or anybody else to rush in to save you. You will not be stuck at the grocery store 2 days ahead of the storm, because most of the time during a hurricane, we have plenty of warning, but it seems like everybody waits to the last minute to see if it's going to actually hit their area. That's not the place you want to be, guys. Be proactive and not reactive. That is not where you want to be when they say, okay, you have 2 days, you have 1 day, okay, you have half a day, and everybody's running out buying all of these things. You don't want to be in that group of people. You want to be already hunkered down or doing evacuations. So that's what you want to be looking at that point. I would stockpile some fuel. I would say at least 15 gallons if you're not a prepper. If you are a prepper, you already have, like me, a couple of 100 gallons of fuel. If you do buy fuel, put good fuel cans. Make sure you store it properly. Make sure it's vented. Don't store it someplace that it could be dangerous or detrimental to you. You do want to put in some fuel stabilizer. Stable is the brand I use. I'm not endorsed by them. I just like that brand. I put that in there per the directions. After the season's over, you can use that gas in your car, in your lawnmower, or anything else that requires gas. If you require diesel, I would have at least 15 gallons of diesel. I would stock up on as many batteries as you think you need. If you're flashlights, that's another thing. You're going to need flashlights. So make sure the flashlights you have, if they require D cell, you have Ds. You have A's, triple A's for different things. Make sure you have those batteries in stock. You're always going to use your batteries, guys. So this is for the whole community. If you're watching this channel, it's just basic, prudent hurricane proofing for yourself, or at least give you a leg up. Your flashlights we went over. The LED flashlights your batteries last a lot longer than those. If you don't have some, make sure you have one for every member of your household, because if the power does go out, you're going to want to have some form of light. Also, you can have, if you have solar lights that are outside your home for your spotlights, etc. Should your power go out, bring those spotlights in at night, and that will light up your rooms. Plus, they have rechargeable batteries in those also. Most of the time, double A's. So that's something to look into. Have you a good AM, FM weather band radio and have batteries for it. Preferably have the type that you can dyno. It's got the wind up, so you'll have that, so you can wind that up. You got two separate sources of a way to run that radio. You're going to want to stay on top of news alerts. AM stations normally have your news alerts. NOAA is on your weather bands, so get that. Another thing, guys, if the power goes out, you're going to need cash because your debit cards, your credit cards will not work in that situation. It's going to be isolated for a small time. It's not the end of the world. It's nothing like that. So, pull out enough cash that could keep you through a period of maybe 2 weeks should you have to go to the store and buy, ice, or if the stores are open, if they're running off of generators and you need something, have some cash to work with. Have small denominations, 1s, 5s, 10s, 20s. I've been over that in another video. Have that on hand. You're not hoarding your cash. You're not emptying the bank. It's not a bank run. Just have some cash on hand, guys. Get you a good tarp or a couple of them just so you can cover up should you lose shingles or something, that you could cover up, a generator when you're not using it. You could cover up a hole in your roof if you lose part of your roofing. Anything that'll help you keep the water out. That's a major thing during hurricanes. You got the wind, you got the rain. Get something that you can do that with. Power supply. This is, you can spend as much money as you want to or as little money as you want to. Most of the preppers that are watching today have their generator backups, etc. If you're not a prepper and you just want some good hurricane advice, you can buy an inverter that you can run in your vehicle. You just attach it to your battery. I did a video right here on that. That's a good way to go, inexpensive. You can buy cheap, inexpensive, generators. You can spend as much as you want on them. I've done several videos of my generators, and they range greatly in price. So you can do that. The solar generators, like the suitcase battery bank that comes with a solar panel, that's advantageous too. So just look into that. If you're not a prepper and you're not looking to use this more than just the hurricane season, have something. Even if it's a $300 generator on standby, it'll come in handy and you'll have it. I know money's tight right now, but try to have some kind of power supply to keep your freezer going and your refrigerators running. Definitely if you have someone in the home that requires an IV drip system or an oxygen generator system, definitely look after them, guys. Make sure you have that in place to run those items. Have you some candles, definitely, for if the lights go out, you need them at nighttime. That comes in handy. It'll save on your batteries, but you gotta be careful. You can start a fire with those also. So that leads to the next thing we might want to think about. Definitely fire extinguisher and carbon monoxide detector. Have that anytime you're running candles, oil lamps, kerosene lamp, anything like that. Make sure you have the carbon monoxide detector and the fire extinguisher. It goes back to another point where I was just talking about generators. I shouldn't have to say this, guys. So many people die each year during these storms and stuff by running generators in their garage or cooking over charcoal in their garage. Guys, carbon monoxide, odorless, tasteless, it'll kill you. It's a killer. Have that carbon monoxide detector. It's a little bit of money. You buy them cheaper now. Get you one. I mean, they're good all year round. If you live in the middle of the country, it's great to have one in your house. If you for whatever reason, they're good to have on hand. Meds, if you are on a daily regimen of medication, make sure you've got some medication put back, and so you have that on hand. I use Jace Medical. They give you daily medications. You can get their Jace case. I really promote them because they are good for the prepping community. I'll put the link in the description below for that. You can use promo code TAD10 or use my link and there will be a discount for you there. First aid kit. Definitely make sure you have yourself a first aid kit on hand because help is going to be there eventually, but probably not right away. So you're going to want to have a first aid kit on hand. You should have one anyway. They're good all year long. It's not just for hurricanes. It's not good for just prepping. You need a good first aid kit on hand. You may have to be your own first responder. So you're definitely going to want to take care of that. Get that. Have it. Put it up. You can buy the smaller ones. You don't have to go buy the great big expensive ones, but have something. I mean, do something to help yourself out here. Rain gear. You're going to want some rain gear. So if you're out messing with your, all of your stuff outside, you're going to want that. If you're inspecting your house, it's raining, it's pouring, have something to help keep you dry to some extent. You're going to want that. I would suggest just regular rain gear. I have rain gear from Ace Hardware. It works great. Home Depot's got it. Rain gear's rain gear. Just have something if you're having to be outside in that stuff. So make sure you have that. Lighters and matches, make sure you have some of those on stock, on hand, because if you've got all your candles and you've got all these things and you don't have anything to light anything with, that would be bad. Or you think you've got lighters that are empty, that is a terrible situation. So make sure you get those things. So those are 15 things, guys, that I think you should really have on hand, and you can do as much with that as you want or as little as you want. But I really believe, even if you're not a hardcore prepper, these items you should have anyway. I think you should have them stocked up, and because you could have tornadoes out on the middle of the country has tornadoes. These things operate the same way in tornadoes as they do for hurricanes. It's just hurricane season has started. They got Alberto down right now in the Gulf, and that's nothing crazy. It's just a lot of wind, a lot of rain. But it could be a determining factor or a sign of the times to come. So guys, if you take your time now, get out, do your prepping now. Don't do it when everybody else is doing it. A big note too that you guys want to think about. If you're the guy or the girl that waits until you hear there's a hurricane coming and you run out to Home Depot or Lowe's or some of these big box stores and you buy a generator, ask them about their return policy, because a lot of places got wise to the fact that people were buying them, leaving them boxed up in case they needed them to have that insurance. Then after the storm passed, they all showed back up with their receipt and saying, hey, I hadn't opened my generator, I want to return it. They were sadly mistaken when they were being told, I know around in central North Carolina it happened, they were being told, nope, non-refundable. You bought it within so many days prior to the storm, so it's yours. We're not taking it back. Be aware of that, guys. So just to let you know, do these things so you're not out in the crazy part when all the masses are out trying to get ready. That way you can sit back, secure your area, and watch all the crazy madness go down and just sit back and stay out of it. All right, guys, until next time, I hope this did help. I'm Ted, and we will talk about it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day.